Hey, it's Mrs. Gilling back this time with some help on your discussion for lesson 8. Before we get into that, I've got a joke for you. Of course I do. Okay, why wasn't the student doing well in US history? Answer: because the teacher kept asking questions about things that happened before they were born. How are you supposed to know? You weren't around back then, right? Woo! All right, that's what I'm here for, to help you learn some of these things. Okay, let's go into first your discussion prep assignment and then that actual discussion post. So you're going to start off by watching a video about the Lewis and Clark expedition. The video is going to be in the next assignment. It'll be kind of in a quiz format like the one you did in lesson 1. It's not a super long video, but it's a good one to help you kind of get a solid understanding of the Lewis and Clark expedition. While you watch the video or after you're done watching the video, whichever works best for you, you're going to finish the following sentences. So the first sentence: after watching the video, I think that one of the most important people on the Lewis and Clark expedition was. You're going to fill in the blank from the video. Who was someone in that expedition that really stuck out to you in the video that you thought was really important? The second sentence you're going to finish: I think they were one of the most important people on the expedition because. So what made them so important? Why would you choose them over somebody else? Number 3: after watching the video, I think one of the most important discoveries from the Lewis and Clark expedition was. So what was something that came out of the Lewis and Clark expedition that was super important? And then the last one: I think this is one of the most important discoveries because, and then fill in the blank on why that was so important. Pretty straightforward, right? So you're going to use that video and those sentences to help you get ready for your discussion prompt. So, kind of like the other one, I want you to answer each of the questions in complete sentences. I don't want you copying and pasting using AI for this. You can use your discussion prep to help you gather ideas. That's what that's there for. But by the time you're done with this post, I want you to have at least 5 sentences, okay? And I've broken it down so you know exactly what those sentences should look like. So, number 1, what do you think the most important thing to come from the Lewis and Clark expedition was? So, what was just the most important thing we got out of the Lewis and Clark expedition? You can use your discussion prep to help you with that. There was that one about the most important discovery. You can use that if you want to. So, you may answer that by saying something like, the most important thing to come from the Lewis and Clark expedition was, then fill in the blank there. Number 2, why do you feel that way? Explain why you think that was the most important thing. So you might say, I think that that was the most important thing to come from the Lewis and Clark expedition because, and then give me your reasoning there. Number 3, who do you think was the most important person on the Lewis and Clark expedition? So you would start that one off by saying something like, I think the most important person from the Lewis and Clark expedition was, and then you can go back to that discussion prep and grab the answer that you wrote there. And then number 4, why do you feel that way? You can do a similar thing. I feel that way because, and grab your answer from that discussion prep question. The last one is your opinion. And this one, again, is where you got to kind of dig a little deeper. How would your life be different if the Lewis and Clark expedition never happened? So I want a specific example from your life. How would your life today in 2025 be different if the Lewis and Clark expedition had never happened? I want something super specific here. So you might start that sentence off by saying, my life would be different if the Lewis and Clark expedition never happened because, and then tell me why. Tell me how it would be different. Pretty straightforward, right? Here's the rubric on how you will be graded. So you get 10 points for listing the most important thing that came from the Lewis and Clark expedition, 20 points for listing the most important thing, 10 points. Oh, I'm sorry, 20 points for explaining why that was the most important thing. Then 10 points for listing the most important person, 20 points for explaining why that person was the most important. And then you get 20 points for sharing how your life would be different if the Lewis and Clark expedition hadn't happened. And then 20 points for making sure you have the correct number of sentences. Remember, you got to have 5 sentences for this one. And making sure you've double checked your grammar, your spelling, and your punctuation. If you have any questions, please, please, please reach out to me. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Appreciate you.